Welcome back, YouTube land. We have got a new project going Monday this week. We're starting out with a messed up project. Well, here's the lowdown. So we're in here digging a basement. You know, beautiful houses going in here, gorgeous houses. New development here. And what happened was the excavator that had come through, built the development, done all this, didn't quite follow the survey exactly. So now we're in a situation where the slab height and footing height here, so like down here, the footing height that we need to be at is actually like 2 to 3 feet above grade right here, which means we've got to import soils or do a major correction of some sort here to adjust that, because if you guys aren't familiar, not that I'm any expert, you can't just build a footing on not virgin ground. It has to be compacted, engineered, all this stuff, proctor tests or whatever. So the next option is to dig it into virgin ground, which would then, instead of having a 10-foot foundation wall, they'd have a 12-foot or 14-foot foundation wall at that point, which is a lot more concrete. So you endure an extra cost somewhere along the process. And right now we're just figuring out where is it best to endure that extra cost. Does it make more sense to have an engineer and the tests and everything done and bring in some sand fill, or do we just over excavate and use more concrete? So a little bit of juggling back and forth. Not to mention, on top of this, what we're realizing is a lot of this soil that was imported in here, or a lot of the soil was imported in here and is not virgin ground. None of this looks like virgin ground to us. So we've got a lot of just debris, sticks, stuff like that, wood chips, all kinds of stuff in there. So that creates another challenge, as a lot of this footing and stuff here, which we don't believe is virgin ground, will have to be over excavated, and then, you know, we're to a whole different point here of bringing in and compacting basically all of the footings in this new home, or extending all the footings down another 2 to 3, 4 feet deeper. So definitely creates some challenges. Of the morning, YouTube Nation. It is Tuesday out here, day 2, and we've come to the decision that all this soil down here needs to be excavated out and then brought back up, and we needed to do a soil correction here. So that is the plan today. Hog out some soil, truck it out. Colton's on his way shortly, sun's coming up. So let's get to it. Alright, so this is the quick update here. We have discovered, after stripping the junk fill that was brought in, they never stripped the topsoil at all in here. So you guys can see, I mean, there's literally plant debris everywhere. There's a huge branch right there. All kinds of stuff that we're getting into. So we're gonna be 4 foot below footing height by the time we're done with this. All right, so we got Brian out here with diesel and iron, running the 120 load truck right now. So doing the soil corrections here. We just did a pothole down here. It's a little bit hard to tell probably in video especially, but you can see almost where the sun is where this is all virgin soil, but this sun is here. That's where the topsoil stops and it goes into like a clay. You can see a little bit of the color change on here where we were digging. So that's what we're assuming we're gonna have to get down to. Alright, so what just happened is we were excavated out to the bottom of footing height. In a couple of spots, the original grade wasn't graded to the survey where it should have been. So there was a couple spots that were actually already lower than our bottom of footing height. Now, as you guys know, you can't just throw in sand or whatever without compacting it and getting it tested and all this other stuff underneath your footings on a new construction or anything for that matter. So what we had to do was take out another 2 feet of the crappy soil that was brought in. It wasn't ever engineered soil, wasn't compacted or tested or had anything like that done. And once we took out that 2 feet of additional soil, we realized underneath that, where the virgin ground was 2 feet of topsoil. They never stripped the topsoil off the lots, and there was just all kinds of organic material, sticks, branches from when they just brush mowed the property. So then what we had to do was take that another 2 feet of topsoil out as well to get down to some virgin ground that was actually clay, something without organics in it. From there, we're gonna bring in 4 feet of sand in 2 separate lifts to bring up the grade back up to where it needs to be so the footings can be set on a good, solid, firm base. Alright guys, it is Wednesday. I think it's the 3rd day we've been out here. Wow. So the first day, sum it up, you guys just saw we dug it. Second day, we started the soil corrections. What you can see now, the whole bottom's pretty wavy, but we were just chasing the organic soil, getting all that out. What you can see is what we have in the pile here now. So just getting all that out, loading that up, and then in a little bit, we'll have the engineer coming out here to check this, and then we can start backfilling from there. So we're gonna be backfilling. We've got sand stockpiled over there. So you can see some of these spots, it just kind of chased all over the place, went real deep. I mean, you can still see some of this has got a little trace of some topsoil in it. So, yeah, just cutting away at it, really. So, you can see it's all actually pretty decent black dirt, quite frankly. Brian, tell him that he can't try to turn with that down. He was spinning his track.
Lift up when you turn. That's a strictly back and forth deal. So lift up, get your turn, get lined up, and then put some down pressure, turn your visor on, and fire it up, get it lined up. Vibrate going forward. That's all that.
Alright, so what we're doing now is just taking the drum roller, the vibratory drum roller, and hitting all the sand. There was a couple spots over here, and one right here you can kind of see that were a lot deeper. We were chasing the topsoil out of there, and the topsoil just kind of went dug down in there, and we had to get all that out, so that was extra deep. That was another like 2 feet deeper than what it is now. So we're just gonna compact those quick because we're doing this in a 1 to 2 foot lift, so roughly 1.5 foot. Which you can see our white paint marks here. We've got footing, grade, the top white line, and then our bottom white line is our first lift, and then the next one will be our next lift there. So that is the plan. So one of the things I wanted to point out while we're watching this here, and he's rolling this with the quick attach roller, this is just a rental. We thought about buying one of these, but I wasn't sure how tight they actually get them. We did pass the densities. I'm just waiting on the exact numbers from the builder right now, who has them. But it will compact to 95% density in about a 1 to 2 foot lift of sand, which is what we had here in this situation. So we did pass. It does work that good for something like this. It works pretty well. It gets it done pretty quickly too. You just throw it on the skid loader. You don't have to have a separate unit. So we thought about buying these. We might end up buying one. I want to actually get the numbers and see how tight it is. Once I do get those numbers, I'll put them on Instagram. So if you guys are following me on Instagram, you'll see them there to kind of share that with you. All right, guys, if you aren't familiar with Brian from Diesel and Iron, well, get familiar. If you're seriously interested in this industry, you have questions about this excavation stuff, you want to start doing excavating or something like that, don't ask me, because we're newer to this too. Ask Brian. He's out here. He knows so much more about this stuff than I do. And quite frankly, any question we've had, he's pretty much got a video on it already. So go to his channel, link down below, make sure you check it out. He's pretty much got a video on anything you need to know about residential excavating, civil, commercial, all that stuff. He knows it all, so he knows a lot of it. But yeah, really great guy. Super glad he could be out here. Thank you, Brian. It's been freaking awesome. So now he's just gonna tear it up on the old 120. Right here you can see there is a water main pipe. That is why that's covered with stuff.